Hey, this is Loose Shirt. Welcome to Locks with Loose. I want to talk to you about when you brick a lock and how to get out of it. I picked Elroy's Toys CL42 earlier today, and I've got plenty of pictures. I think I'll try to interject them throughout this video, but when I was putting it back together, I recognized that this thing has a trench trap in it, and it also has a ring around the back of the lock itself that the C-clip fits on. So I shimmed it. I shimmed it on reassembly and actually bricked the lock. What happened was, I believe it was chamber 3's driver dropped in, let's see, I'm going in this way. I think it was chamber 3 dropped in the trench trap of chamber 2 and bricked it. I could rotate the key just a little bit, but I couldn't get out of it. Come to find out, Side Picks has picked this just prior to me. He had the same problem, same exact thing happened to him. He was able to kinetically get it loose. I was not able to do that, and after talking with Elroy's Toys, he encouraged me to grub this and talk about it a little bit, about, how to get out of this problem. So that's what I've done, and try to zoom in on just a little bit more. But what I did was, and I'll show pictures throughout this, I hope. I took it down the workbench and I tapped on the first chamber. I knew it was going to be, no, I tapped on the second one. I thought the issue was going to be in the second one. So I selected that one and I tapped out, or tapped down, and then drilled into the second chamber to where the plug is on the top, that goes in, that holds the pins in. And so I drilled down a little bit, and then I used a wood screw to reach in and screw into that. And then with a little bit of leverage on the vise, which, sorry, Elroy's, I didn't help your lock too much. I should have taken more care, but it's back in service, and it looks pretty good, and it works damn well now. Anyway, I pried out the one, and no, that wasn't the problem. Honestly, I don't know exactly what bricked here, but the point is I had to continue on. So I drilled out the next one and did that same process, and I couldn't get it to come loose. So what I did was just continue to drill. And I drilled out, and I had to sacrifice one spring to do that. But I got it out, and I got the lock, unbricked. At that point, once I'd disassembled and taken all the pins out, I just put it back on top of the vise and used a punch and punched out the additional 4 here so that I could thread the top. And then, I got some M4 3mm hex screws in the top of this thing now. And I put it back together, and it's working fine. That's what I threaded it with. So, I was disappointed in myself that it happened, but it definitely can happen to anybody. And the point is, a lot of these can be saved. If it's, I don't have an example to show you, but if it's like an not an S, but an oval, and there's no way to get to the pins from the top, then, well, you're kind of screwed. So in some situations, you'll have your back against the wall and you just can't recover from it. But if you're dealing with somebody else's lock or somebody else's CL, reach out and talk to them and talk to us, because a lot of times we can figure a way around it and salvage it and, get it back out into the world so that it can continue circulating. And, I was talking to Side Picks about this. It happened to him. Then it happened to me. It's going to happen again if somebody doesn't grub this thing, because trench traps especially in this type of lock. Well, it's, I don't know how careful you are putting it back together. It's likely that you're going to have a problem, or somebody's going to have a problem down the road. So anyway, that's my little speech on how to get out of trouble. Elroy's, I'm sorry you did that to your lock, but I think it doesn't look as pretty as when you gave it to us, but it works pretty damn good. And actually, I think it's going to be harder to pick actually, because the springs are weaker because there's less travel. And I don't know. I think folks are still going to have a lot of trouble getting this one open, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.